Time, the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? The 49ers win big time, 24-9. And we're here to celebrate, baby. We're here to celebrate, baby. There's a lot to celebrate. The 49ers are in first place of the NFC West. Yes, we all have the same 2-2 divisional record. The entire NFC West has that, but the 49ers are the only team that are 2-0 in the division. And those two wins came against the Seahawks, who you haven't beaten in a long time, and against the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Rams. The 49ers are in the perfect place. First place. It wasn't pretty. Did they get here the way that we all hoped and wanted? God, no. Are there some things that the 49ers need to work on? God, yes. But that should not take away from the way in which the 49ers handled business on national TV. Everybody's watching. You go out and you put on a clinic. You walk away from this game thinking several things. And we're going to be here a minute. Thank you guys for joining. Love all the hashtag CCs. We got a lot. So tell me how you feeling right now. How do you walk away from this game? I want to see it in the chat. How do you feel right now? Because again, it hasn't been pretty. Was this game pretty? No, it wasn't. Were there mistakes? Yeah, there were a lot of them. You saw bad Jimmy. You saw good Jimmy. We'll detail that. But the defense never wavered. Even though the Rams had 2, maybe even 3 really quality drives, no touchdowns. They didn't touch the end zone. They got 9 points. That's it. And this is one of the more prolific offenses, but I was telling you guys all week, this is not the Rams that we saw last year. It really wasn't. It's a good Rams team, but it wasn't the same. Their depth just wasn't there. And the big plays that the 49ers were able to make were the difference. That was the difference in this game. And the 49ers came out on top. They were the better team. I don't think anybody watched that thinking the 49ers were not the better team. God, this was awesome. Yeah, Hufanga, man. I freaking love it. Talanoa Hufanga. Again, you know, I tweeted this out before the game. Remember when, and I talked about it in my top 5 players to watch. Shout out to Casey Lehman for putting that together. But I said, do you guys remember when the 49ers didn't draft a safety and everybody was pissed? Everybody was mad. Everybody was mad. You got the best safety in the NFL right now. He is playing not at a Pro Bowl level, not at an all-pro level. This cat deserves Defensive Player of the Year. If you were voting on the award right now, there is nobody more deserving than him. Nobody is more deserving than what he's bringing to the table. It's Hufanga. Huff. That pick 6 changed the game. They were already winning. They were up 8 points. It felt like they were going to win the game. There's no doubt about it. But when Huff came in and made that pick 6, it was just done. At that point, it was over. 1 pass breakup, 1 interception, 1 defensive touchdown, 3 solo stops. Yeah, DJ says, I knew Hufanga would be good. Last year's rookie performance, dude is learning more and more and more. He is just too dang good, man. He's just too good. Love what he did. And guess what? Jimmy Ward will be back soon. Tayshaun Gibson played well, dropped an interception. He's dropped 2 now. That would have been huge. That gave the Rams 3 points. This very easily could have been almost, what would that have been? 24 to 30 points to 6. I mean, this was a rout. Defense wins championship. Thank you, James. And they just continue to show out. Listen to these stats. The 49ers gave up their very first points in the entire first quarter of the season through 4 games. They made it through 3 without allowing any points in the first quarter. They gave up a field goal. That was it. They gave up their very first points in the first quarter. A field goal through 4 games. That's unbelievable. It doesn't even make sense how good that is. Now, sticking with that, 0, what's it called? 0 touchdowns allowed, listen to this, 0 first quarter touchdowns allowed through all 4 games. It's just the stats say so much about how great this defense is. And if you look at the Rams' performance, which they got a lot of first downs. It's a bend but don't break defense. That's what it is. They got a lot of first downs. And yeah, we're going to go through the film on Patreon. We're going to go through all that and figure out why this, why that. But the Rams were one of the best teams in the NFL on third downs. They went 5 for 15. What was our stat of the game? I told you, our stat of the game, get them to 40% third down conversions, you win. You win. They were at 48. You got them down to 33%. Unbelievable job by the defense. How did the defense do it? Great pressure. Shout out to Mosley. Shout out to Charvarius Ward. They were great on the edges. Shout out to Demo. Demo probably had the toughest task of the game. He was responsible for Cooper Kupp more than anybody. And did he get beat? Yeah, definitely. There were some issues there, no doubt about it. But he kept coming up, and had a lot of positive plays. 2 of the third down stops were 100% Demo, man-to-man coverage with Cooper Kupp, and he made the play. Oh, here we go. B-Fish, love this. No 20-plus yard plays for the Rams at all during the game. Well, guess what? 49ers had a lot. Rams didn't. 49ers did. And so you had great coverage. Linebackers were scraping all over the place. Listen to the Drake Greenlaw had 6 tackles on the opening drive. It was stupid. He led the team in tackles again. He almost had 2 interceptions. You're right. That one interception was a fumble, which somebody else got. But yeah, Drake Greenlaw, 15 tackles, ladies and gentlemen. 1 tackle for loss. He had that penalty called against him, which I think was a good call, but he responded with the tackle for loss the very next play. Dre Greenlaw has been unreal in back-to-back weeks. You go back to week 1 with those questionable calls that happened against him, and he has just been stellar. He's been stellar. Fred Warner, good game, not great. We still haven't seen a great Fred Warner game. He's been good. He's been consistently good. Haven't seen that great game yet. He almost had an interception as well. AA Rods, thanks for the gift, man. He says, Jimmy throwing deep. I don't know about all that. He did have a couple deep throws. One was a miss on to Charlie Warner. Could have been caught. Not a good pass at all. It did make a couple other deep throws. Missed Kyle Juszczyk wide open, but that's okay. And I've said this repeatedly. Jimmy's going to be Jimmy. You're going to get those what the hell happened throws. They just can't result in turnovers. 49ers had 0 turnovers today. 0. And so on one of the plays, it was third. I think it was like 3rd and 8. And Juwan Jennings was wide open on just an out route, and he sailed it 10-plus yards over his head. Those passes are going to happen, Jimmy Garoppolo, every single game. But whenever those plays happen and they don't result in turnovers, you're going to win a lot of games. You have to just go with the flow of Jimmy. Even the Debo play, okay? I want to stick to the defense, but let's stay with it. Even the Debo play, that should have been a pick 6. It was a screen. The defender read it perfectly, cut in front of Debo, and was right in front of him. It was a super high ball. Debo jumped and freaking took the ball off the rim, gathered himself twice, and then took off downfield. That's the give and take of Jimmy. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. That's just what it is. That resulted in a huge touchdown, game-changing highlight, which was incredible. It was a bad pass. It was a terrible pass. It was a terrible decision. But sometimes the ball bounces your way. And that's another thing. The 49ers have not had the ball bounce their way this year. They haven't. They really, really haven't. Through fumbles and missed snaps and all those things. Tonight, ball bounced our way. And how do you determine how that works? How do you change that outcome? I don't think you can, but you take advantage whenever it goes your way. And the 49ers did that today. Bobo, thank you for the gift, man. He says defense on point. Man, they were fighting. Yeah, I love it. The Rams were fighting with each other on the sidelines. It's that locker room, though. That's kind of the way that it goes. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, awesome. I love them fighting. I love Brandon Ayuk messing with Jalen Ramsey. And you saw Jalen Ramsey couldn't calm down for 2 more possessions after that. I like this petty Ayuk. And I got to give credit. Fred Warner nurtured and brought that out of him. That dog is there now. Brandon Ayuk is timid. And I'm not saying like he doesn't like press stuff. He doesn't like to talk. He's chill. He's just chill. He's always chill. I like this. Brandon Ayuk is so damn good. How do I say this? Brandon Ayuk had 4 catches for 37 yards on 4 targets. He's not getting used the way he should. Neither is George Kittle. 2 catches, 24 yards on 4 targets. There's still issues in this passing issue. There's issues. You had 16 receptions. Why is Ray McLeod getting 3 targets, right? That's a problem. Why are Charlie Warner and Ross Dwelly getting 2 targets before George Kittle got anything? Those are issues. But Debo, 6 catches on 7 targets, 115 yards, 1 touchdown. 57 yards of that, though, were a 1 play, which was incredible. But yeah, B-Fish, Ayuk was in Ramsey's head. Our wide receiving core was good. Really, really good. Diego, he says, first time catching a live stream. Love the podcast. Need to feed Ayuk and Kittle more. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. I'm with you, Diego. Welcome. Glad that you are here. And again, if you are, one of those people that don't catch this live, turn those notifications on. That is huge. Don't know how to turn the notifications on? Right. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button is the bell. Once you click on that, click all. That way, there you go. Click those things right there every time we go live. I think we're doing 7 or 8 live shows a week now, which is awesome. You can catch every single one of them. And I want to say shout out to Clayton, the man behind the scene. He's monitoring the chat. Love how everybody is in here. Appreciate you guys. It's a celebration. We have gone through it. I felt like the first 4 weeks, as a coach, you divide the season up into quarters. Well, the first quarter is over. And you kind of had the entire 49ers experience, Heartbreak Kids, all in this quarter. Because, again, you're down, you lose on the road in a monsoon game. You come back, you beat a division rival at home. You go on the road, you lose a heartbreaker game to Denver. You come back home, destroy an opponent that's the defending Super Bowl champions, and you wind out on first place. You're in first place. Now it's a new quarter. You got back-to-back road games. Back-to-back. You go to Charlotte, they're terrible. Worst quarterback in the NFL, Baker Mayfield. That's going to be fun. Then you got Atlanta. Atlanta's Atlanta. They're putting up points. Their defense is trash. So that's going to be probably the first major test. And I hate to say it, it's crazy to say this. The Atlanta Falcons are going to be the biggest test through 6 weeks for the 49ers defense, and I'm all for it. I mean, I'm excited to see what it is. Not great quarterback play, but they're putting up some big-time yards. Curious to see what that's going to look like. Now, if you are going to one of those games, well, guess what? So are we. We've got parties all week in Charlotte. I'm flying out Thursday, so if you're coming out, hit me up. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. We are doing every single away game and the Miami Dolphins game. We're throwing a tailgate. We're throwing a party the night before to every single road game and the Dolphins home game. So we're going to be at Graham Street Pub and Patio on Saturday this week, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Go get your tickets. Then we're going to be tailgating the day of the game in Charlotte at Town Brewing Company. We also have all of our Atlanta stuff up. All those tickets for the whole year are available up there. When we sell out, we sell out. We've sold out 5 out of 6 events that 3 out of 4 events that we've had so far. So just kind of want to throw that out there. Gunner, thank you so much for the gift. He says, in their heads, there's no doubt, and they kept alluding to this, how much these two teams hate each other. And it showed. The fighting in the middle of the field, them fighting on their sidelines, lots of hits, just beating the crap out of Stafford. The fact that, they're down, they have no chance to win. And, I'll say this, probably some of the worst clock management I've ever seen from a coach, from McVay. And it's hard to find flaws in what McVay does because he always makes great decisions. He sucked. That was a 5-minute drive. They ran the clock down, called a timeout with 2 seconds on the play clock, and it was a running clock. They ran the clock out on themselves. Would it have changed? No, but they didn't give themselves a chance. Aaron, man, appreciate you, Aaron. He's such a good dude. Thank you for the gift to the super chat. He says, Bosa, buy Stafford an ice pack. Man, let's talk about these sacks because they crushed it, man. They just beat the living tar out of this dude. Now, we finished with 7 sacks. That's a lot. We had 4 versus Russell Wilson. That's good. 7 is unheard of. You had 7 sacks and 11 quarterback hits. Samson had a sack. I loved how well Samson Ebukam played. Oh, got a sack on the first drive against his ex-team. Forced the fumble at the end to ruin the game. That was a sack as well. So I think that counts as 2 sacks for Samson. Let me check that in here. Yeah, he got 2 sacks because whenever he knocked the ball out, that counted as a sack and a strip fumble, which was awesome. Bosa, he's got 2 sacks. Bosa now has 6 sacks on the year. He leads the NFL. The 49ers don't have 1 defensive player of the year candidate. We have 2. We have 2. Bosa definitely probably the more legitimate chance at winning that award, right? But Hufanga has been up there. But shout out to Bosa, man. He's just been absolutely. Listen to this stat line for Nick Bosa, okay? Here we go. 2 sacks, 2 tackle for losses. Listen to these quarterback hits. 1 quarterback hit, 2 quarterback hit, 3 quarterback hit, 4 quarterback hit, 5 quarterback hits for Nick Bosa. That's unreal. 3 solo stops. Dude's uncanny. Sticking with the sacks, Omenihu and Warner, they both got a sack. Who'd they officially give it to? They gave it to Omenihu, not Warner, which Omenihu was there first, but whatever. Lenore and Bosa, Lenore got a sack. He played incredible. And then Ridgeway, he got a sack as well. That's not really his job. He's just a pocket pusher, but it worked. Adam, oh man, thank you so much for the gift of the super chat. He says, your thoughts on Colton McKivitz? My spelling sucks. I think you got it right on being out. I'll say this. Colton McKivitz played awesome. Played so good. His injury was rough. And usually when they say a knee and rule him out that quick, it's scary. He was standing up on the sidelines with his helmet. Like, so I don't know. The injury is gigantic. Let's just be very, very honest. You got to get somebody back. Now, Jalen Moore stepped in, seemed to play rather well. And again, I've said this, a big reason why Kittle isn't getting what he usually gets is because of the O-line. You're keeping him in. On the Charlie Warner deep play, Kittle was blocking. On the Dwelly play, Kittle was blocking. On a lot of those plays that are successful, it's because Kittle's blocking. Jalen Moore, I'm excited to do the film. And, you know, if this is the first time with us, we go through every offensive play, every defensive play, every special teams play on our Patreon. We go through every single thing through the coaches tape. We get access to all 22, and we break it down scheme by scheme. I'm showing you this is good, this is bad, here's why. We break that up into a lot of small, manageable chunks, which this week's going to be busy because you already are 1 day shorter on the week. You played Monday night, not Sunday, and you're traveling across the country. It's going to be a busy week. And so we're going to be chopping up, getting all of the content out because we're not going to do less content because it's a short week. We're going to do the same content. Raymond, thank you, man. Appreciate the gift. Always feels good to get a win. How about the defense and Debo? Yeah, there it is. That's the pairing, right? The defense and Debo, D&D. They needed this and are going to Carolina. I'm getting my Kyle Juszczyk jersey. Dude, how funny is it? Okay, you have one possession where Kyle Juszczyk runs a seam route. He's on the defense. He's on the offensive left side. He's the number 2 wide receiver. He's split out. He just runs a seam route, which is just straight downfield. Safety rolls down because he's scared of Debo, and the backs, they were in a cover 2. The backside safety was hesitating getting over. He was past the outside hash. And you see Kyle Juszczyk doing this whole number, the car salesman, wavy, wacky arm guy. And Jimmy missed it. You know, he checked down to Debo. He was running a Texas route, which is an option route out of the backfield where he posts out to the flat, then comes back under the curl zone of the linebacker. Okay, so Jimmy throws it to Debo, gets tackled. They ended up punting, but whatever. And I don't mind the check down. That's not a bad thing. But you see Kyle Juszczyk doing this, and then they zoom in on Jimmy, and you see Jimmy look up at the scoreboard to see what happened, and you see him just go, like he knew he missed it. So you have that, and that ended the drive. Would have been a huge Juszczyk play. Then the very next drive, Kyle Juszczyk just runs a 5-yard out route to the flats. Jimmy threw it perfect, and nobody was there. Again, what is Jimmy's MO? Middle of the field hashes. So they're in cover 2 because that's what they do. They do a shell defense, and both the safeties crash towards the middle. So when this safety crashed towards the middle and Juszczyk did this 5-yard out route, he caught it and just looped around him for another huge gain. Like, I thought it was kind of poetic in a sense that you miss Kyle Juszczyk on a deep throw. That's not Jimmy's forte. So the next drive, you just throw a quick little 5-yard out route. But because of Jimmy's tendencies, everybody was crashing in, and you were able to take advantage of that on the outside. I thought that was awesome. Rick, what is up, man? Has become a YouTube member. Appreciate that, my friend. Rick is awesome. He's always in the DMs asking questions. I appreciate you, Rick. Thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate you supporting the show. It helps us out a lot. If you haven't become a member yet on YouTube, please check that out. It does help us out a lot. Allows us to do more content, things like that. Oh, there we go, RA. I love this. Love that Bobby Turner is back. Man, let's give Bobby Turner some love. The long-time running backs coach returned, which is awesome. How'd the running backs do? 22 rush attempts. I wish that was higher. For 88 yards, 4 yards per carry. That's perfect, especially against those stacked boxes. We saw lots of 5- and 6-man fronts. There was one point where there was a 7-man stacked front, not 7 total in the box that you usually count. I'm talking 7 guys across the line of scrimmage in what's called a gap defense, all within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage, 7 guys. And guess what? We still ran the ball that play. We still got 3 yards. You've got to kind of run the ball. And yeah, B-Fish, I'm with you. Mason should have got carries that last drive. You're up 15 points with a minute and a half left. Why are you still running Jeff Wilson? Why? Allow a rookie to get in there. Why not? I will say this. Tevin Coleman did get in the game before Jordan Mason, which bothers me. But again, these are small critiques. It's okay. You're allowed to critique your team. That's allowed. But Jordan Mason should have got carries. If we're looking at the carry splits, Jeff Wilson had 18 carries for 74 yards, 4.1 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. And on that 32-yard touchdown, ESPN Next Gen Stats put it out. He hit 20.82 miles per hour on that run, which guess what is the fastest time of any 49ers ball carrier this year so far. And Jeff Wilson's never been a speed guy. He's never been, I think it was like a 4.5 or a 4.6 guy out of the combine out of UNT. That's pretty damn good. That is pretty damn good. So love that he hit that. And again, he was untouched. And on that play, Charlie Warner, Banks, and Burford cleared the way. Cleared the way for him on that. Now, if you guys are loving this 49ers content, I do want to let you know that once we're done here on this live show, we are doing an all Patreon Zoom hangout. I made this little thing before the show. Obviously, we won. We're going to celebrate because I felt like it was just such a pivotal game that I wanted us all to get together. So if you are a Patreon member, the instructions to the Zoom link are already over there. And if you haven't joined Patreon yet, here's what I got you. I got you. Go join right now. Just type in 49ers Patreon on Google. We're the first one that pulls up. We're close to 400 subscribers. Help us get to 400. Support the show. If you come hang out with us on Zoom, only the first 100 people get in. It's all it lets me have in there. If you don't like it, cancel afterwards. I'll refund your money. So come check it out. Literally. Just check it out for free. You got to sign up. I'm not allowed to give them away for free. Patreon won't let me. But again, we do every offensive play, defensive play, special teams, Zoom hangouts, scouting report breakdowns. We got you over there. Trust me, it's worth it. Go check it out. What's up, Jason? Appreciate you, our insider. He says Shanahan says Colton McKivitz has an MCL, but unsure of the severity. They got to do the MRI. If it's an MCL, he's going to be out a month. So whenever he gets healthy, Trent will be back by that period. So if that's what it is, that's huge. But yeah, he's going to be out at least a month, probably longer. Big guys usually take a little bit longer, which means Jalen Moore. Also, Daniel Brunskill got in. Could be Daniel Brunskill out there at left tackle, which is who I would go with. Yep, Jordan Mason is in the Kyle's redshirt program. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. How sad was it when they showed the booth, the suite up top with all the 49ers injured players? That sucks so bad, man. I hated it. Kinlaw was up there. He had the video of him going out, testing the knee, seeing how it was going to go, and then getting the bad news that, look, dude, if it's not right, you got to sit. Eric Armstead played. Sorry that my nose itches. Eric Armstead played. He left with a foot injury in the fourth. It's that same foot. Just It's tough to get right whenever you're a big dude like that. Juwan Jennings limped off in the 4th, but he was back out there later. But yeah, the Colts McKivitz, that's the big injury. And going into this game, the 49ers were second most injuries already. It's a lot, but it's not just the 49ers. You look at the Rams, gosh, they were down to like third string offensive linemen as well. So it's not just us. It's easy to do the pity party and not to say that the pity party is wrong because, yeah, it sucks. Like, man, what if we had all these players? What if we had, whatever? But it happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. It really, really does. Now, a couple other positives that I really do like. I love the fact that Deebo Samuel only got 2 carries. Here's why. You used him as a decoy. The very first play of the game, you did a play action to Deebo, and you hit Ayuk on the slant, and it was awesome. I think it was a slant. It might have just been an in-breaker, but it doesn't matter. Like playing chess, like that's why we love Kyle. And there's been flack for, okay, it's Kyle to blame, it's Jimmy to blame. I've been on record. I think the film has supported it. It was Jimmy, but now we're seeing, I think we saw a good Jimmy. He didn't turn the ball over once. So I'll say good Jimmy. Was he great? No. You look at just his stats, 16 of 27, 239 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. That's it. I'll take that every day. It's 100 quarterback rating. Now, a lot of those passes, they're screen passes, but I don't care. I don't care. I'll take it. Flynn said the Rams are down players, and it showed. Niners are down players, and it didn't. Niners are deep. The way you build your roster matters. It matters. It matters. Now, okay, I want to get into this debate. I need to hear from everybody in the chat because I put something up on Twitter, and I think a lot of people disagreed with me. 49ers are up 5. Okay, I think there were 8 minutes left in the game, and they were on the 1.5 yard line, 1 yard line, whatever. Kyle chose to kick the field goal. I thought he made the right decision. So I want to put it in the chat, Clayton. I want you to keep track of these and throw them up. Was it smart to kick the field goal, or should they have gone for it on 4th and 1? Okay, because here's my issue, and here was my thinking. The Rams, I don't like giving momentum. I don't like that. If I'm in the lead, I'm not going to make your choice easier, okay? Because if I go for it and I don't get it, now you have momentum. Yeah, you might be on the 1 yard line, but I don't care about that. That's not it. I'm not going to chase points backwards. I'm going to force you to chase points forward. So you're up 5, you kick the field goal, now you're up 8. So they have to score a touchdown, and they have to kick 2. On top of that, guess what? We don't run the ball very well in short yardage situations. If it was less than 1 yard, you Jimmy G sneak it, but it was 1.5. It was on the 1.5 yard line. And so you kick it, you go up 8, and you trust your defense. Now people were saying, "Well, if you go for it, that's trusting your defense." And I was like, I don't think so. I don't see it that way, because you're telling your defense, look, the only way that they tie this game is if they score a touchdown in 2-point conversion. They're not going to do that against our defense. Now, if you go for it and you don't get it, because you have to play both sides. Now you're up 5. If a busted coverage play, yeah, shout out to the Chicago Bears, right? Or something like that happens, then guess what? Now you're losing. So where's the loss at? And people are like, oh, he has no balls and whatever else. It's not about balls. It's about wins and losses. Now you kick that field goal. The next drive you go down and you kick another field goal, 42 yards, but you miss it. Robbie Gould's first miss of the year. You make that, the game was over at that point too. But I ask the Ravens. Let's do that. Ask the Ravens how they feel about having big balls. They're fighting with their players on the sideline too, and they got beat at home. Don't allow a team to get momentum, right? Because I guarantee you, the Rams were sitting there saying, man, please go for it. Maybe Aaron Donald makes a play. Go for it. Go for it. I guarantee you, whenever the 49ers trotted out the field goal team, the Rams were like, dang it. I promise you that. I've been on the sideline, guys. I've been a part of those decisions. Now, not saying what I'm saying is right. It's an opinion. For those of you that are saying go for the touchdown, you're not wrong either. You just have more faith in your offense, which I have none. I have said repeatedly, it's a race to 20 points. The 49ers are 7-1 against the Rams. Okay, the last 8 times they played, 7-1. That's pretty damn good. In the 7 wins, they had over 20 points. In the 1 loss, they scored 17. I want points. I want to collect points because of how good our defense is. That's the whole idea. Don't give momentum to a team that is trailing on the road. Don't give them hope. Make them earn it. That's what the idea is. And yeah, JC says, I get the reasons why, but this is a pattern for Kyle. Always goes conservative and makes the defense win the game for us week after week. Well, guess what? That's the strength of your team. The strength of your team is not Jake Brindle. It's not Jeff Wilson. That's not the strength of the team. Now, here's the worst part about it is Jimmy Garoppolo's best pass of the whole game was incomplete. It was a Kittle in the back of the end zone, which was so frustrating. Almost amazing circus catch from George Kittle. That was the best pass of the entire game. So we'll see there. Benji, thank you. He says, Trent Williams told Mayoko he should be back in no time. Man, I don't know what time that is, but yeah, we'll see. And it seems like in the chat, about 90% are saying we should have kicked the field goal and that was the right call. It didn't feel that way. And in the chat, people were pissed at me. I think I got retweeted. I think, I don't know the term that young kids use, ratio or something. Everybody kept retweeting me, making fun of me. I mean, you can make fun of me for lots of things. And you're not wrong. It's opinion thing. But again, you're up at home, prime time. You stick with it. You got to make them fight and claw. You got to make them fight and claw. And I felt like they did that. I really do think that they did that. Shout out to the team not having penalties. Kevin Givens had that one dumb penalty on 3rd and 1, but he had a great game. Devin, what's up, Devin, man? Hope the fam's okay. Love you guys. You are the best there is. PFS had Nick Bosa having 14 pressures. That's pretty stupid. That's pretty stupid. Unreal what Nick Bosa did. Sticking with penalties, Dre Greenlaw, he had that one illegal contact / pass interference penalty. I think it was the right call, but it's what it is. Greenlaw played incredibly. And then the holding on Brindle. Again, huge penalty. But Jake Brindle had his best game. His best game as a 49er. Best game, which I think is huge. And I'm happy because he's been the worst 49ers player this year, and it hasn't even been close. He had his best game. He has best game. Now, speaking of best games, we went undefeated on our bets this week with MyBookie. We went 8 for 8. We were already in the positive on the year, even though we had a bad week last week. Oh my gosh, we have doubled up in this week. So, real quick word from our sponsor. You know football, and you pick winners all the time, so why not get paid for them at MyBookie? Best single game spreads, money lines, parlays, teasers, multiple. You put it all together, increase your payouts however it is you want to go bet. They've got individual game lines, stats, who makes playoffs, who doesn't. Now, what's even better about it, low cost entry fees on over $500,000 to be won. Make it so you don't have to be a pro gambler to have fun. And that's what's awesome. You can bet a little bit. I'm an entertainment guy. I don't put a whole bunch on there, but getting started is easy. You just head to mybookie.ag, use our promo code 49ERS on your first deposit. They're going to double it all the way up, $1 for $1, up to $1,000 on your first deposit. So again, use our promo code 49ERS, double it all the way up to $1,000. MyBookie is a proven sportsbook that makes it simple to bet and win. We've used them for over 5 years now. So make this your winning season exclusively at MyBookie. All right. So we post our bets every single week on Patreon. So if you want to join us, we do that. I mean, we went 8 for 8. We crushed it. And so it's an extra way just for you guys to have fun. And it's great whenever we make money. We posted profits 4 years running. And this year is starting out pretty damn good. Now, I just looked up during that ad, the 49ers in the red zone offensively, we're in the bottom 5 of the NFL. We're 28th. So even more reason why not to go for it there. 49ers were 0-1 in the red zone. That was the field goal that they kicked, I guess. So maybe that's not helping my cause at all. But opposed to that, The Rams were 0 for 3 in the red zone. I love it. Bobo says he won $200 on the game. I love it. Absolutely love it, man. Derek, he said, overcame some bad call and penalties. They will not call a penalty on Nick Bosa. But to be fair, shout out Letterkenny. Yeah, there we go. So there's like 3 people that got happy with that reference. And the other ones are like, what? Letterkenny, Hulu, check it out. You'll understand life better. Anyway, having said that, they did call one hold on Brindle in the run game. They weren't calling holding against pass rushers on either side of the game. So games like that, it did get egregious at the end, but I don't mind it when refs set a tone and stick with a precedent. My law studies degree is coming out in me. But whenever you see those things, I don't mind it. Going back through this film is going to be freaking hilarious watching Nick Bosa. Dude was getting WWE choke slammed like repeatedly. Oh, there we go, Ricky. We got it. That's what I appreciate about you. But anyway, having said that, this game, we should all feel cloud 9 right now because the Niners handled their business. Did you lose 2 gimme games? Sure. But guess what? They're out of the division. You lost to the Bears. You lost to the Broncos. Both road games. Like, not important. If you ask me, okay, John Chapman, you get a look at the first month of the season. There's 4 games. You get to pick 2 to win. Which 2 do you pick? Everybody says Seahawks and Rams. And you did that, right? Now, again, you're picking and choosing here. But the 2 most important games on the schedule so far, the 49ers have won. And now you get to move forward. Yes, they're road games on the East Coast, which is rough. That's rough. I'm making the trip with the team. We'll be there. I'll cheer them on. But you're playing the Panthers, who are one of the worst teams in the NFL. And you're playing the Falcons, who, let's be honest, they have overperformed, to say the least. But, I mean, they are 2-2, just like the 49ers. So, like, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what's going on, but neither one of which is anything that is, scary or, oh, man, how are the 49ers going to do it and all that stuff. So you divide, again, this is the second time I said this. You divide the season up into quarters. You just finished quarter 1, you're 2-2. Here's quarter 2. You've got the Panthers, you got the Falcons, all right? Then you're at home versus the Chiefs. Then you go to Levi South for the Los Angeles Rams. So we've got 3 road trips this month. We're going to be at all 3. Are you worried? Yeah, the Chiefs, they're for real. But if you could sneak out of this and go 3 for 4 or 4 for 4 or at least 2 for 2, as long as you beat the Rams, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. I love it, man. Rams' best player was Wagner tackling the fan. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Those clips. I don't get on my Twitter feed a lot because I'm usually just answering questions or tweeting out stuff. But like once or twice a game, I do like check the Twitter feed to see where all the fans are, and it was just nothing but that play. Which hey, fan steps on the field, light them up. That's what I gotta say. Now, I will say this. Shout out to Jimmy. He got a lot of hate this week. I'm not a Jimmy guy. I'm a 49ers guy, though. I think that Jimmy played well this game. Was he good? I don't think I'd go that far. Was he great? Hell no. Ball bounced his way a couple times. His missed throws, guess what? Didn't result in turnovers. That's fine. The 49ers have to play this way. Mitigate mistakes. Capitalize on defense. Anytime you get points on the board is a win. It's a win. This is the 49ers formula moving forward. You have the best defense. Not only in the NFL, this might be the best Niners defense we've seen in a decade. It might be that damn good. And that's going back like Smith Brothers good. Like it's that damn good. Now, I know the name recognition, all this. Shoot, I was hanging out with Navarro Bowman last week. I ain't trying to throw shade. But this is special. Now, everybody's saying like, oh, well, yeah, your defense is good. Look who you played against. Justin Fields, let's ride. Like Captain Cringe, that dude, whatever else. No. You just did that to the Rams, okay? And you handled them, to say the least. They played the Bills, who are a great defense. They put up 10 against the Bills. They put up 9 against us, and so I don't know. I think This defense belongs. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Thank you, Daryl. He says, hey, family, go Niners. What a win. Here's where you walk away right now, okay? We're going to end this show here in a minute. We're going to be going live on Zoom. So I'm going to refill my water, and then we're going live on Zoom. All you got to do is just any Patreon member, you get access to it. So, again, head over there, and we're just going to get together. This is your chance to talk. I'm going to moderate it, and we're going to have a bunch of people. I want to hear your thoughts on the game. So I need to hear from you. You guys just listened to me talk for 40 minutes, and I appreciate that. Thank you, and hit subscribe if you haven't yet. But we're going to jump over there. We're going to chit-chat. We're going to have a good time. We're going to share this experience together because it's about the family. It's about the community. We call us the faithful. And some days are harder than others. We just went through a couple rough weeks. Let's be real. You need to enjoy this. So when you go to work tomorrow and you see those freaking fans that have been talking trash on you, you just walk around with your coffee mug. Here we go. I still got my coffee. And you just sip it, and everything tastes better. I got to sip it now because I said it. Ah, man. How you feel today, John? Man, I feel great. Do you know why I feel great? Because we're in first place. You talk trash all week, Nancy. You shut up, Nancy. We own it. We got it. Sorry, I live in LA, so a lot of my neighbors, that's what it is. My neighbor works for the Rams, and so I can't wait to talk trash because they got the last word last year. We back on it, baby. We back on it. So enjoy this. Enjoy this. The 49ers are in first place, and they earned it. They earned it. Hasn't been pretty. Football ain't pretty either. Neither is your host for the 49ers Rush podcast. Anyway, Yatsik, my buddy, he says, my students were talking trash this morning. I told them, man, appreciate you, buddy. Keep doing what you're doing. Changing the freaking world. You are the best of us. I want to say thank you to the man, Clayton, the man behind the scenes. You are absolutely incredible. He moved today. And got back just so he can help with the show. Freaking love him. The 49ers Rush team's incredible. Just want to say thank you to everybody. And our executive producers of this show, 49ers George 365 and Kilton Niner, the best that there is in the business. Now, before you leave us right now, you better go over to Patreon. Join us for that Zoom call. We're going to be live on there in less than 5 minutes. So just give me a quick minute. We'll be good there. And until next time, first place, baby. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. And until next time, stay strong, faithful.